Hey guys, this is Jimmy from xbosoft.com. Today we're going to talk about the 10 key criteria you should bear in mind when developing the best software testing strategy for your business. And make sure you stay tuned until the end because as usual, we got a great gift for you. Having a proper software testing strategy is very important in maintaining the high quality standard of your software. Unfortunately, many businesses put software testing at the bottom of their priority list, which is a huge mistake because problems can accumulate very quickly with your software and jeopardize your many years of efforts in developing that software. And especially that you're developing a software for target end users. And in turn, these target end users can turn their back on you because now they are faced with defective software. And that's the reason why we made these 10 criteria you should bear in mind when developing the best software testing strategy for your business. The first criteria to consider for your software testing strategy is to keep documentation at the right level and ask why. We talk about agile, and people are talking about agile because there are little to no documentation. However, as far as testing goes, you need to consider a few test artifacts, such as test cases, defects, test plans. So keeping the documentation at the right level is very important to make sure you have a successful software testing strategy. Of course, right level depends on the company and the level of maturity of its testing. So, for example, if there are several people in the test team and the company wants them to execute each other test consistently, so we need to make sure that the test cases are written in a similar fashion so that every tester can follow them. The second criteria in creating a great software testing strategy is to do defect analysis to find where to put the team efforts. First we need to check the root cause of the defects and check where most of them occur in the software, when and why. And then we can go toward improving rather than just fixing defects. So the third criteria is to do requirement analysis to determine testability, clarity, and completeness. If your requirement is not testable, then a developer doesn't really know how to approach developing that feature. The latter might not be clear in terms of what constitutes passes or fails. Therefore, it's really important for testers to understand and develop the requirement so that they can be tested and developed properly. Now, the fourth criteria in developing the best software testing strategy is to work closely with developer and collaborate with unit testing. Everybody's talking about unit testing, and sometimes the tester might not know how to write code, but we can work with developers on precisely what each function should entail and the sub-functions of the features. That will allow the tester to know what the feature should do in both in a positive and a negative one, what the feature or the user should not be able to do. Hey guys, if you like the content of this video so far, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to visit our website because we have a lot of great content for you. A fifth element of a successful software testing strategy is to analyze customer support. Customer support is one of these elements that are really overlooked in software testing strategy, but it's a very important element because you get a lot of data from the customer support tickets. So you can analyze these data and provide recommendations or change and tweak things based on this data. So if, for example, customers are getting confused, we might want to look at these areas. Maybe they are not clear, things are ambiguous, and so on. Criteria number 6, develop automation strategy to prioritize according to what makes sense. So automation is another area that is really widely talked about. These organizations sometimes use terms such as, we want to automate that many %. But every company and every software is different. So we need to look at each case individually because some companies lend themselves very easily to test automation. In contrast, others might not be suitable for automation because of their architecture level and the complexity of how the functions interact. So criteria number 7 is conduct performance test early. So performance testing needs to be realistic and done very early. So we need to identify the top 3 activities end users are doing on a frequent basis. So for example, in financial application, one of the key activities might be doing account receivable reports. So that's one of these activities end users are doing every day. Another aspect that we want to make sure that we undergo is API and database testing. And this can be done actually before this software is finished. So if we take a realistic scenario of the account receivable report for the financial app, we need to carry out an examination of what part of this database does that touch. The simulation can be done via database calls to ensure our software performs at a high level underneath the actual application. Another key element of a successful software testing strategy is to conduct usability tests early via what we call the all-way and 80-20 rules. Usability testing doesn't need to be complicated or expensive or involve things such as focus group. It can be done very easily. All you need to do is have maybe an iPad or a mobile phone and let your coworker go through the app for 5 minutes, giving them some tasks and see how they go through performing these tasks. Then you can see whether they're getting confused or can they complete this job that you're giving them within the amount of time you provided to them. So that kind of usability testing, we call it the 80-20 rules, where you get 80% of what you need to improve in your application, while you only spend 20% of the time, money, and efforts actually. The 9th element of a successful software testing strategy is to conduct security testing. And just as for usability testing, security testing can be done early. And since no one wants to be in the news, it's essential to conduct security testing early to understand the organization vulnerabilities and correct them before the code is released. And it's not necessary to wait until the very end to do things like vulnerability assessment. The earlier the company can carry out such testing, the better off it will be. For example, the company can create security user story as part of its agile process. Such a user story could be vulnerability assessment, or it could be simulating a malicious user trying to do something. So the last criteria is to ensure platform compatibility with a coordinated strategy. There are still many issues to be solved with platform compatibility. So for example, the number of operating systems and the number of end users' devices. Moreover, depending on its market, every company's software will have different user group, different user profile, and different operating system. If we multiply all these factors out, the platform matrix becomes very large very quickly. Therefore, we need a real software testing strategy on when to use real device, simulated device, and cloud devices. Therefore, a company needs to think about all this upfront when elaborating a software testing strategy, so that when it's time to do platform compatibility testing, it can be done in an organized and cost-efficient way. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. This is the bonus I promised to you at the beginning of this video. This is a cheat sheet for you to take away with you so you remember the 10 key steps you need to consider when developing your software testing strategy. You can find this cheat sheet on our website. Make sure you download the link in the description below, and hope you guys enjoy it.